Hi, and welcome to the walkthrough for the Langrisser I for the PC Engine. Now, this is going to be a little different than most walkthroughs, in the fact that, not only I'm going to show you my strategy and the way to basically complete the game, but I'm also going to go through some of the history and some of the sort of, what had happened at the time playing the game, and sort of some of the interpretations that came not only from the game as we played it, but also events that happened during the time that kind of sort of influenced how we interpreted the game. Because again, this game is not in English; it's in Japanese. So as we were making the translation and making the transition from the actual game, as we play it on the PC Engine, the definitions and meanings and sort of the connotations of things that we had, got interpreted a different way. Now, knowing that the fact that this game was, we played it back in the 90s, some of the things that culturally were happening are different from now, and things are a lot more, shall we say, politically correct in today's environment. It wasn't as much, back in the 90s. So some people may find this, shall we say, inappropriate or, kind of outlandish, what we thought. Then again, I'm trying to reflect more what has happened in history as more to be more politically correct right now. So again, if you disagree with that, that's fine. You can make what you feel known in the comments. But again, I'm trying to be more historically accurate. Okay, so I know that a lot of you people have already played this game, mostly as Sega Genesis, under the name Warsong, which is good. Some of you might play it on the Super Nintendo, which is fine. Again, that's kind of another bit interpretation of this game. There's also the PlayStation 1 version that came out as the 1-2 anthology collection. That one came out after this one. You would think it would be better in many ways, but in many different ways it's not. And so, as I'm going through the walkthrough here, I'm also going to compare and contrast the different versions. Say some of the things that are good in some of the different versions, and I'm going to try to point out that this PC Engine version for anime fans, especially, and otakus, and basically people who are pinpoint interested in this game, like Langrisser I, this particular version is the ultimate version of all the versions. Now again, there's coming up on April 2019. There's going to be a PlayStation 4/Nintendo Switch version. Things may change then, but for now, I still hold that this particular version is best. And I'm not just going to tell you, but I'm going to show you why. So please stay tuned, hit subscribe, and hit like, and then we'll go on with this particular one. Alright? Okay, so that's definitely a long introduction, and we'll get right into the walkthrough. Now, as I'm doing the walkthrough, I'll basically talk about different parts of anime and that kind of stuff, and things that happened during the time. So just to fill in time while you're watching the playthrough, while I'm basically going through the strategy. Okay. All right, so level 1. So there's not much hope here. There's a lot of bad guys attacking the Belta's castle, and the mission of this particular level is you gotta reach Null, with sitting at the top of the screen waiting for you. Now, unlike the Sega Genesis version, you're supposed to actually escape the castle. In this particular version, all you have to do is basically stand right beside her, and she's standing at the top of the castle, right on top of the king here. Okay, so the other main cravat in this particular level is that Emperor Digos will show up on turn 8 on the right-hand side as the reinforcements. He is carrying a pretty badass sword. Or actually an axe, called the Blood Axe on one version, but it's also called the Devil's Axe. On this one, it's a +7/-3 attack weapon, so it's pretty good. So I'm going to tune the forces I've got here and the attack strategy to basically concentrate on trying to get that weapon from him. So in order to do that, what I've done is I've stocked up all my power on Volkov here, because he's pretty much the only guy who can basically do any damage to these guys and be able to have any hope of actually doing some damage. Okay, yeah, I know the strategy is to try not to give him any experience points, because you're going to lose him in turn or stage 5, so you don't want to give him too much power up. You also got to get experience for yourself. So later I'm not going to stock with anything, and so my strategy is going to be I'm going to put horses on Volkov and stop Volkov with a sword in order to basically get the most amount of bonus in order to hopefully knock out Digos. Okay, so I've been moving my forces downwards to basically help Jessica with the lizardman down here. Again, try to get Layden down there. He can score the occasional hit here and there. Take out one of the weak guys, but then do so. Layden, I'm not going to stop with any forces because the soldiers are going to be useless against anybody that's on the screen. So they're just a waste of money at this particular moment. So, let them do that. Okay. Okay, so the NPC troops that you have are not horrible, but they aren't going to last you forever. So, Jessica can hold their own. The monks on the side are basically pretty good. They can hold themselves for a while. The lizardmen on the side, they're again reasonable, but they gotta go going archers, and so eventually they'll eventually cut down. But that's fine. It gives you enough time to get back off. If you are finding that you're getting overrun, you can always back up. The king has two soldiers, which are really handy. They're +6/+6, so they can help you, basically defend and take out things. Okay, until basically Emperor Digos basically comes. Now, so what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to clear out these lizardmen, and then I'm going to try to set up a trap right underneath the castle throne room here. Okay. The idea is basically I want to get basically trick Emperor Digos to basically attack me head on, get himself damaged, and then basically use my turn, basically attack him back, and basically knock him out and kill him. Okay, and then that way I'll get that axe from him. Right? So just get that get that set up. So that's the basic strategy behind this one. Again, you can if you really wanted to run, just basically step out that door and run up to just Norm and done. But here, this might be a good opportunity to get a good weapon to help you out in the next couple levels, right? Okay, so in this part of the episode where basically we're just watching some walkthrough and just try to get up to that point where I need to show you something. I can take the time to basically explain and answer questions, and basically if you've got any short anime questions or questions in general, you can ask them, and then basically I'll try to address them as I'm making this walkthrough. And so I'm sure one of the first questions you have in mind is the King of Smut 95. I mean, that's got to be a pretty pretty ambitious nickname. And again, like most nicknames, it's best given when it's given to you. And so it's a title that I got, obviously in year 1995. It's obviously a play on the video game of the same name, the King of Fighters 95. And I'll get into the whole story of that in my other YouTube channel, which is called The History of Fan Anime. And basically on my channel, I'm basically setting up sort of a documentary-like series where I basically go over how we got anime in North America from Japan. And that includes not only just Japanese animation, but also the video games. And of course, Langrisser was a big part of the first early starts of how we basically not only got the anime, but also got really into a lot of the Japanese video games. Langrisser being one of the major ones. So, I won't go into exactly how I got that nickname. here, but again, if you want to go to my playlist of the history of anime, and you can then find out how I got my origin of my name. It's a it's a pretty funny story, and it can be well suited for as an anime convention like story. Okay. Okay, so speaking of trying to hold the horses, he just lost Taylor here, so don't worry, just be out for a while, so you won't he'll be joined back in into NPC until quite a little bit later, but that's okay. So anyway, he wasn't going to be able to hold on forever with his serpent guys anyway, so but he will prove useful later on. Now the NPC on your right here. He can do a pretty decent job holding out, all these soldier guys for the time being. Again, he probably won't be able to hold on for when the Emperor Digos gets, but hopefully by then he'll put it back in the castle, and then Digos will go directly after Volkov, and that okay. So now the leader then moved out of the way and give us a breakdown. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to try build a wall. It's that fence right there, Volkov, and basically build a wall of horsemen on this side here. Along the opposite side, we're going to get a trap for Emperor Digos when he arrives. And what Digos will do is he'll charge straight in one of the horses, and even though he's got that big axe, it is a +7 for the attack, so he's got a really good attack. Problem is, he's got a -3 on the defense, and so that could be his shortcoming if he doesn't have good reinforcements. And again, if Digos is charging in, he will be probably ahead of his troops, and that will give you that one turn worth of grace to basically be able to knock him out before his reinforcements come back in behind him. Alright, so let's see if I get that set up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Volkov's horses and build a wall on the right hand side here, so that the Emperor Digos will be able to come and hopefully smash one of himself into one of the horses. I'm going to move Volkov in the middle, and then the lady in the middle as well, so that if any loose stragglers that he can collect the experience points. I'm going to build the back end of the wall here, so that the lizardmen can suicide themselves onto the horses, and then maybe Jessica can come in and sweep up some extra kills there, or if it's close, maybe David go back and get the extra kills for some extra experience points there too. So basically what we're doing is sort of wall ourselves in the back part, and wait until Digos arrives. Okay, so we're at turn 7 now. The wall is in place, and it seems to be holding pretty well. It's going to be fusion of forces again, but Jessica take her point, and then basically we've got a 3-way front here, and basically we're going to have people who basically serve as the front and the back. And those are then going upright, those that cannot get past the horses because we can't take them all in one shot. But we've got a secure front on that side, and now we've got to wait for turn 8 for Emperor Digos to arrive. Okay, so looks like the wall in here has held both on the back and on the front, so good for this turn. And it's also an opportunity to go and ask answer another question. One of the questions involved why are you doing so much emphasis on the PC Engine version? The reason was that sure I own Super Nintendo, and sure I own Sage Genesis, but At this time, early 90s, I used to work for Radio Shack in Intercan, Canada. And at this time, Radio Shack was one of the big, you know, one of the people that actually carried the turbo graphics. So that was their big deal thing. The PlayStation 1 coming out, turbo graphics was sort of that big thing that sort of surpassed the Sega Genesis and surpasses the Super Nintendo, because it actually had CD quality sound. And some of the CD sounds that you play here, I'm taking and remixing it from the arranged version CD, so that's why that sounds a lot more realistic than the 8-bit MIDI sound that came off of the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. And again, the CD that comes on the PC and the CD-ROM, you can actually put into a CD player and actually play CD quality music. Which is why, surprisingly, on the PlayStation, they didn't give that option. It's because, I guess, there's just too much data, and they decided the best way to compress the music, but they didn't make it, using a lot of real instruments. They decided to pulse modulate it all. I remember that at Radio Shack, they used to have a special display, like an Attache, like a TV monitor type thing, and they able to store the TurboGrafx / PC Engine unit, which is referred to TurboGrafx Duo, and you were able to store that underneath the machine, and you were able to let the cables up and get controllers out that people can play. And what I remember doing is that since I was looking for the games that had good display and good graphics and motion stuff, I remember I brought in this game Langrisser I, that had played in this opening, and I remember I bring that in, I put that in the demo CD, and I put that in and let the opening play. I remember I brought in the opening for flash hiders, and just put it into the game. Lady Phantom was another PC Engine game that I remember bringing in and just leaving it in the Radio Shack TurboGrafx Duo, just so that it would display the graphics. I like that system. I kind of pushed it that time. Okay, so you've noticed here that I've tiered this front horse here, and I'm going to hope that because this is my lead horse, that Digos will attack this one. Now this gap that we've just created here was kind of useful for Jessica now, because now she'll try to move the horses ahead of this front line. And it's okay. I mean, you want her to at least try to get some experience points and that kind of stuff, because then she'll get a slightly higher level. At the same time, some of her units are a little more effective than others, so if you can get them up there, so she can do really damage. Who knows? So she puts up with the lines over here, but the truth about it is that that second guy is pretty tough to kill. So even Volkov will have problems doing it. So don't worry too much that you can't kill the serpent guy. That's not what he should kill. However, when you have the new guy coming down from the side, you can deal with him. Volkov horses can take care of that guy when he comes down, so that's fine. And again, you can see that Digos is coming across the wall. So we're ready for him. So here, position for him. Volkov here can go and set the horses there and deal with this user here, and beat him down. That's cool. Now, in the course of this tutorial, we will start calling you guys different names, Knight and Leon, Barbarians, and that kind of stuff. And those are some of the pretty boring names. And then we started giving them, King of Smut 95, we started assigning strange nicknames. And again, these nicknames are very culturally influenced sometimes. So something that recently happened in the news, sometimes we incorporate that into the nickname. Okay, so we're at 11 now, so looks like our wall is now replenished, and it's in the holding. We have the lead horse on the right hand side, just waiting for Digos to kill that wall, and kamikaze himself on that first horse. The back defense is back up and right, so that we're protected against the lizard bat for the time being. So let's see what happens then, right? Okay, there's the moment I was waiting for. Digos immediately jumps over the wall and immediately attacks my lead horse, which I left out there as a decoy. And just as expected, he was unable to kill it. It damaged him and knocked him down to 7 life, so that's perfect. Okay, so now we can do the final attack on him. So what we'll do is use probably this horse here, attack him underneath. One thing we do to make sure we have just extra level of 500. Ball Call does have a shield spell from use his turn, cash the shield on the horse units here, and then we can get the extra level charge. So when he was carried away, injured. No, if he got killed, that's fine. But units couldn't reach that X anyway, so that's fine. Then we can use our units here, and kill the attack here. Weakens him down, so then we get these other forces back up to go in there, and voila, he's dead. Perfect. So then now we've dealt with Digos, we get our special double axe here, and that is the end of the level. So there you go. Somewhat seems to be an impossible mission. We actually, came up with something, and yeah, so that's how you can do it. Now we have a double axe, and we can now save this, and we go on to level 2. So, and again, if you like this, go down below, click like, hit subscribe, and get ready for level 2. And then we'll also continue to talk about some more anime and maybe a little bit more about the TurboGrafx do and my weird antics at Radio Shack for the time. And again, you can also stay tuned for that special thing that makes this version of the Langrisser more unique than any other version. So, until next time, see you again.